And we say good morning to you. Welcome. We are broadcasting live. We're on the road again today at Chick-fil-A in Elizabeth. You see my guest. He's in the windows, ready to come on board. Doug Fritz, Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News sports writer. Got lots to talk about. And, of course, we say welcome for show number 1906. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. We unashamedly do that. So let's get it started. The verse of the day and the national anthem. We are in the greatest country in the world. Then we got lots to talk. We got Doug Fritz. We got David Nanny. We got Greg Salyer. We got David Collins. Going to put him to work. And so get his take on high school football, which is right around the corner, of course. Here's the verse of the day. Psalm 68:19 says, "Praise be to the Lord, to God our Savior, who daily bears our burdens." Whew. We can take our problems to him. He bears them every day. He wants us to. He says, bring it to me, and I'll help you take care of it. If you just let me run it, I will take care of it. So praise be to the Lord, to God our Savior, who daily bears our burdens. Psalm 68:19 is the verse of the day. National anthem, here we go. Let's see who's going to do it today. We've got several we pull from. Let's see. This one, how about Loretta Bowers? Here she goes on the national anthem on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and the bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, first guest is here. He's busy. Got to get him on so he can get on down the trail. And so he was telling me off air that you one time sang the national anthem one time. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was at an Elizabethton soccer game when my oldest daughter was playing. The best part about this story is there weren't very many people there. So I sang, and I thought, well, I can sing the national anthem. And I mean, I don't think I sounded terrible. I'm sure it wasn't great, but I thought I can do that. So I was singing, and I got to the second verse, and I sang part of the first verse again. And when I got to the end of that second line there, in my mind, I'm going, well, where do I go from here? Because that's not the second verse. So I think I kind of was smooth enough in transitioning back to the correct words. In my mind, not everybody noticed.
Yeah. So you winged it.
If I ever sing the national anthem again, I will have the words on a sheet of paper in front of
you. Yeah.
So
Oh, say.
and now every time I watch them sing it, like at a football game or something, in front of millions of people, I think, what if they forget the words? I mean, you think about that. I mean, I did it in front of 38. Well, I wasn't even in front of them. I was up in the press box, and they were out in the stands with 30 people. And imagine forgetting the words, but hopefully that won't happen to anybody else.
No. What kind of a response did you get?
I think they cheered, but I was
You were mortified?
I was embarrassed, so I didn't really know.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything after the game, so either they didn't really hear it, or they just felt sorry for me and didn't bring it up.
We're out here live at Chick-fil-A. Hello, Russell Riddle. Thanks again to everybody watching the show last night, or watching the scrimmage. We had we're up over 3,000 views already, and we had Bob Thomas in Dallas, Texas. We had a lady in El Paso. Had Rick Ransom in Pensacola. We had a bunch in Elizabeth watching. So don't ever want to act like we don't care about our local folks. But it's really cool for me to sit here in Elizabethton at a ball game and send this out around the world and have people in, I think we added up about 6 or 7, North Carolina. Eleanor Rambo was in Southport, North Carolina on the beach last night watching. So don't ever take that for granted, our local folks. But it's pretty cool to know the Cyclone fans. You know, we had folks all over the country, literally all over the country watching these games. So kudos to all you all watch. Eddie Pless stepped there last night and jumped in, did his first first maiden voyage as my color man on the home football games, and I thought he did a phenomenal job. And of course, Coach Van Huss was there. He chimed in a little bit, and he went down and sat with his family. So 21-7 last night was the final score of the Cyclones. So it's here, my friend. We're going to talk high school football. Now, we got the Jamboree tomorrow night at East Tennessee State. We'll talk about that in a moment. So we'll talk about high school in a moment. I got to get his take on the crazy, wild college football scene. We've got Washington, we've got Oregon coming to the Big Ten. Now we've got Stanford and Cal and even maybe SMU coming to the ACC. How do you make okay, football I can get, I think. But I don't get these other sports going to jump in a plane and fly from Stanford, California to Louisville, Kentucky for the ACC. It's not a done deal yet. They're talking about it. I asked my brother, we talked about this, he and I talked Monday, and he's a big West Virginia fan. They're in the Big 12. I said, you know, you go to all the games of Mountaineers when they're at home. When Texas Tech comes or Texas comes, do they bring a lot of people? So maybe 1,000 maybe or thereabouts. I said, so how do these schools financially afford putting a girls volleyball team on the plane and flying across country, a soccer team on sports that don't draw a lot and don't make a lot of money? I mean, it's got to be a financial, I would think, a financial bust to do this. And so now you're talking left coast, California, all the way over to the ACC, and even up, you know, one of the ACC members of Boston College. You're going from California to Boston to play a ball game. So anyway, what's your take on all this?
Well, they'll make it work money-wise. They'll just keep throwing more money at it to where you've got enough money to take care of all that stuff. I think that the sad part about it is what made college football great through the years is the rivalries. And yeah, you're still going to have some of those rivalries, but you know, growing up as a Virginia Tech fan, and we went to football games up there, and when they played South Carolina or Richmond back in the day, I know these are, you know, that's a smaller school now, but you know, these were big games. They were exciting. And then when Oklahoma State, I think, came in one year, it was like, Oklahoma State's coming in. It was interesting, but it wasn't
a wild factor.
It wasn't exciting. It's like,
No.
Oklahoma State. So now, I mean, it's like, so now Virginia Tech's going to play who? Cal? Virginia Tech in California. I mean, are you, as a fan, if you're going to every football game, you're going to go, but as a fan, are you going to like say, oh, they're playing California, I'm going to drive up to Blacksburg and go watch them play Cal? I don't care.
No.
Now, if they're playing Tennessee, that's different. Look at the proximity of it, and that's what makes rivalries is the proximity. And when you spread this thing out all over the country, and college football begins to lose its identity, you're then somewhere along the way, all this big money is going to start going away, because if it's not as exciting to people, the money's there right now, and they can just throw money at it, and they'll make it work. That's why Florida State's saying, I got to get out of the ACC because they're not giving us enough money, and that's all part of it. But they'll go somewhere, they'll get their money because they're Florida State.
So you're a Hokie fan in Johnson City, and you find out next year they're going to fly to Stanford and play the Cardinal out there. Are you going to jump on a plane as a Hokie fan and incur all the expense and fly to Stanford to watch it?
Well, you know, that's the thing about it is, too, of course, no, I wouldn't do that. But even if it was for the ACC championship, they're both 8-0, and they're playing in week 10, and here they are, and it's a big deal, and one's ranked 3 and one's ranked 6th. I mean, first of all, I'm not going to use that money to do that. There's people who will, but the number of those people is small. Most people are going to say, that doesn't fit my budget. I'm not going to go to California. And even if Stanford's, you know, coming here or whatever, it's like, you know, it's just not the same. And what makes the SEC what the SEC has been through the years, and what makes the ACC what it's been, and what makes the Big Ten what it's been, is these rivalries. And every time you add a new team to the conference, you lessen those rivalries, and you just water it down. And you eventually, you know, you keep throwing too much water at something, you're gonna choke it down.
Very good point. So I don't know where we're going to go with this. Greg Sankey says now we need to step back in college football and reevaluate the playoff system, because now the Pac-12, who was a player in the conference playoff scenario, is not now, since they're down to the Pac-4. And so stay tuned for that, because now they're going to go back and kind of put their heads back together and maybe reconform the college playoff system. because Greg's saying, and he's right, Pac-12 is not a player anymore. It's now the Pac-4. So, that's a big part of the, Power 5 conferences is no longer a Power 5 conference. The bowls I read yesterday out on the show, there's 5 bowls that are tied into the Pac-12 now. They're already starting to rethink, who they're going to invite, and they're not going to align themselves to the Pac-12 anymore because the Pac-12 is not there. So it's a ripple effect. Throw it in the water, watch the ripples, and so now it's already carried over to the bowl season. Some folks need to say we need to do away with the bowl season anyway, because the bowls are, other than the ones that really matter with the national championship, don't carry a whole lot of oomph anymore. And I think the players see that too, because a lot of them are more and more bowl. They're electing not to go play in the bowl games for whatever reason. So a lot of movement, a lot of flux going on in the world of college athletics. So, then I read over the weekend where the NCAA, they're kind of just going past them. We're going to do what we want to do, and we're bigger and more powerful than you, and you don't have much say-so anymore. So the NCAA, as we know, doesn't have a whole lot of teeth anymore. So.
Too, you talk about all this conference realignment, too, and then you throw in the fact that all the transfers that are going on, too. I've been working on trying to do some research for a preview for Virginia Tech, and I'm looking at their team, and it's like, well, they got this guy that transferred from Baylor, and they got this guy transferred from Old Dominion, and this guy from Norfolk State, and then they got this guy. And of their key players, I'd say 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere. Some other key players that are transfers. It's like and one of their best players from last year, now he's at Notre Dame, and it's like it's hard. It's getting really hard to identify with what. It's just hard to identify. It's almost college basketball is like that now with the one and done and so forth and so on. It's hard to identify with these players and stuff. That the teams are losing their identity. And this realignment's just adding fuel to that fire, and you can't keep going. And that eventually it's going to burn up.
We chatted before we came on the air, and he and I were talking about it. He said, what do you like? Is I love promoting high school sports, and here's the reason why, is because these kids. Now I just hope. That's one of my questions to you. Do you think the transfer portal will come down into high school like it is college, where kids can go? I'm mad at Tom over here. He's the coach at Elizabeth, and I'm going to go to Science Hill, or I'm mad at this coach. I don't get enough playing time, and for whatever other reason they would want to leave, they have the flexibility to transfer. Do you think that will ever come down to high school like it is right now in college?
Yeah, it's already happening in other states, and Florida has something similar to that. Not that transfer portal, so to speak, but they've got loose enough transfer rules that you can kind of just jump around and stuff, and to me, that's the ugly part of sports. There's a lot of life lessons that you can learn by staying in a situation where you feel like, hey, I'm not getting, maybe I'm better than the shake that I'm getting, but you can learn some life lessons there. There's some situations where, I'm sure there's some situations where there's a bad enough problem that getting out is the answer. But I know, for example, one kid, I won't mention his name's transferring from a local school to an outside the area school, which I'll leave it at that. But it's just like, it's all about me. What's best for me?
Oh, yeah.
And so, and I get it. If you're parents and your kids, you want to do what's best for your kid. But when did it stop becoming about? We're in Elizabethton. When did it stop becoming about Elizabethton and become about me?
Amen.
It's not the Elizabethton me's, it's the Elizabethton Cyclones. And what made their, what makes their tradition so great is the community. And so when you start pulling out the Jenga sticks of the community, eventually it's going to collapse.
Cyclones last night won 21-7. Touchdowns, Jariah Griffin caught a pass from Rhett Schlegel. Braylon Britt caught a pass from Jackson Price, and Caleb Holzer had a touchdown run last night. They beat Union 21-7, so Union scored in the final drive of the game, so credit to them. They're going to be a good football team. They're big over there in Union, Virginia, the consolidated of Powell Valley and Appalachia. They're big, and they're going to be good.
Science Hill plays them this year.
Yep. So they were 8-4 last year, and I see a good football team in Southwest Virginia. We beat a good football team last night. Now let's talk about the Jamboree. which will be tomorrow night at East Tennessee State. 4 games, 12-minute quarters. They'll do 2 12-minute quarters. First one will be stop and start game-like, and then the second will be a running clock. At 5:30, the first one, Science Hill and Crockett. The second will be the Cyclones and Westridge. The third one will be Dobbins Bennett, Daniel Boone, and the last one will be Science Hill Volunteer. $10 to get in. They're going to have the competition like they always do, the best punter, the best lineman, probably the fastest lineman, a passing competition, and a running back competition. So no media. People can ask, we're going to keep asking if we're going to stream it. We are not. They said no go, and that's okay. I'll be able to watch it, but it'll start at 5:30 and get $10 ticket and get over tomorrow night and watch Science Hill, Crockett, Elizabeth, and Westridge, Dobbins, Bennett, Daniel Boone, Volunteer. You got 7 schools. Is that right? That ain't right, is it?
Yeah, you should
1,
get Science Hill's playing
2,
twice.
3, 4, 5, 6.
You got
Now, this is my West Virginia math kicking in. Science Hill, Crockett, Elizabethton, Westridge, Dobbins Bennett, Daniel Boone, Volunteer. 7 schools.
he used both hands, and when he got to that second hand, he knew he was.
God, you know what Gomer says? Golly, Shazam. Jethro said, odd times odd is still not all day long.
That's
You
algebra.
can't do that
That's
with me.
algebra. That's what
Good
that is.
Lord. You can take the boy out of the country. You can't take the country out of the boy. All right, then on Friday night, there's the Carter County, Greene County Jamboree at Hampton High School. At 6:30, you have Unaka and West Greene. South Greene, North Greene are the second game, and Hampton and Chucky Doak in the nightcap. They, too, will have the competition, fastest back, and so on and so forth. So you've been around. You've talked to the coaches. When does the tab come out, by the way? Let's promote the tab.
August the 17th.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, and it's going to
Gotta
be
have it.
sold. My understanding it's going to be sold as a separate edition. So we actually have a true football tab. So we're hoping it'll look really
Awesome.
nice.
So I use it every year as a reference for my broadcast. So got to get it. He and Mr. Birchfield, Mr. Cook, Mr. Vaughn, Mr. Avento, been out beating the bushes, haven't you?
We have.
They get them all the riders. Joe, JD, Tanner, Birchfield, and you,
Yep.
5 of them. Yeah.
Yep.
So got to get it next week, next Thursday. It's a great reference tool for the ball games, especially for us broadcasters. So what are you hearing? What are you thinking? What's going on in high school football? Who's going to be the Big Daddy Rabbits this year? You've been around all the media days, a lot of them, and your cohorts have done the same. So put it together, and what are you hearing?
It's there's a lot of stuff going on early in the season that's going to, so a lot of times it takes eyeballs, and you can't go out to the jamborees Thursday and Friday. Whatever you see there, you have to erase it from your mind because that's all smoke and mirrors. They don't want to show anything,
Yep.
especially Science Hill and Elizabeth. I mean, whatever you see tomorrow is the opposite of probably what you'll see the next Friday. But
Yep.
Elizabeth's playing Science Hill, DB's playing Greenville. These are early games, and these are things that are going to give you some more insight. But I look at just starting with Science Hill and Elizabeth. I think they both have a chance to be really good this year.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen with the quarterback position is if Elizabethton's really good at the quarterback position, I think they can just be outstanding this year. And Science Hill, they're going to do some different things at quarterback position. How good is that going to be? So, Dobbins Bennett's in that same boat there. A lot of teams are kind of, filling things out. And you can't really know until you get there and see. Because a lot of times you'll have a kid and they can have all the talent and promise in the world. But going into a season, if they've not done it a lot, how do they respond when those lights are on?
Yep.
The stats are counting. The fans are in the stands.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. But I think Science Hill and Elizabeth and both have a chance to be really good. I think Dobbins Bennett has a chance to be good. Boone's going to be good just because they'll be tough and good. I think Crockett could be a team that's interesting. I think a team that's maybe under the radar a little bit. People may not be expecting much about them because of the league they're in. The Sullivan East could be a team that creates some noise this year. They've got a lot of interesting things. And then on down, I think Johnson County's got a chance to be really good at 3A level. Unicoi County could be super good depending on how their young kids do. Hampton's always good. It's interesting, that league, though. You got Gatlinburg Pittman and Pigeon Forge in there. It's going to be interesting to see. No, see, Gatlinburg Pittman and Pigeon Forge, they're in with Unicoi. I'm sorry. Hampton and Happy Valley have to deal with that Eagleton team, which is from Maryville. It's a new school, first year of varsity football, but they apparently got some 6A transfers in there, so, and they're in Maryville. So, how tough are they going to be to deal with? I think Cloudland's going to be pretty good. See, I mean, I'm really optimistic from top to bottom for Northeast Tennessee going in. Now, give me 2 weeks, and I may say, well, that one's not panning out, and that one looks a lot better. We'll see.
Well, yeah, we'll both have that ability to go.
Yeah.
You know what? I knew that team was going to be good over there, and I knew that team would struggle. But here today is, man, they're all good. So.
They're all good.
Oh, yeah.
It's the eyeball test too. I mean, you get out there and see. Especially that's why I love Science Hill and Elizabeth. And that's why I love that being the first game, because they're not holding anything back. They're not saving stuff. Science Hill's not saving stuff for DB. Elizabeth's not saving stuff for Greenville. They'll deal with them later. They're out there. They want to beat each other. And
Absolutely.
You're going to see what these teams have right off the bat, right out of the gate. And it doesn't mean everything is balanced on that one game, but you get to see and you'll know. You and I both will know Saturday morning after that game, okay, what do these teams have?
All right, so how many years for Doug Fritz covering high school sports?
This will start I started in 86, so this will start year number 38, so it's been 37 years.
Did I say Lubbock? I don't have my glasses.
It does say Lubbock.
Hello, Jimmy Ritchie in Lubbock, Texas. Thank you for watching, sir. That's awesome. So, how many years?
37.
30.
I'm finishing up my 37th year and heading into number 38.
Yeah. Now, here's what I'm going to ask him. He's a man of faith. He and I, and this next man is too. One of the coolest parts of my show is I get to promote the Lord. And I know folks go, that's a sports show. But, as I've said many times, sports should be a spoke in the wheel of life. A lot of folks make sports the spoke in the wheel of life. I mean, it's all or nothing, and that's all they think about, talk about. And I'm going to tell you the story, and I want you to talk about your faith before I let you go. I know you got to get trucking, and you're hungry. So, buddy of mine up in West Virginia, remains anonymous. He could have told you every play, every stat about the West Virginia Mountaineers, everything. Doug Fritz, he's wide out, played in 1997, had 7 touchdown catches, caught the game-winning ball against Pitt in overtime. That's how much this guy knew. Wanted to get buried in a blue and gold casket. Okay? This is all he talked about. I mean, he prided himself on throwing, when he get mad at the TV, and throwing busted remotes up against the wall because West Virginia wasn't doing good. Okay? And he looked at me and said, what do you think? I said, I think you're crazy is what I think. I think you're nuts because you got your priorities all screwed up. It is a game, purely a game. Prostate cancer. Guess what? Call up there now. He's trying to stay. He's hanging. He's trying to stay alive. Tell me about the Mountaineers this year. Let me tell you about my blood level, my oxygen level in my blood, or I got this going on, that going on. I said, yeah, but tell me, what do we think about the Mountaineers? Not even been brought up. You know why? Doesn't matter now. Because what he thought was important, and I'm not going to rub his face in it. I'm not going to say anything to him about it. In fact, he would kill me if I told. I'm not going to tell you his name, but but that's all he talked about. That's all he lived for, because he made sports that he spoke in the wheel of life. And now the guy's dealing with a life-threatening situation. Doesn't even mention the football team. Could care less, because he's battling for his life. So at the end of the day, when we get to, that's what should be. Cyclones, do I want them to win? Absolutely. I'm over there to call W. I want them to win the state championship. I want them to win everything they can win. But if they don't, my life goes on. I got grandkids and kids, and people love me, and I love them. And so the game is what it is. Put it in the box for a Friday night. When it's over, it's over. Anything I can do about it. Do I want to win? Sure, I want to win. If I don't want to win and call the ball game, why would I be up there in the broadcast booth? But when it's over, it's over. So that's my take on this thing called life. You're a man of faith. Jump in there and go. Tell us before you take out of here how important faith is in Doug Fritz's life every day as a sports writer, and a good one.
Well, one thing that, and I've been thinking about this some here recently, and when I was a young man, and I came to faith in Jesus as a teenager, but my life didn't really change until much later on. So I had a lot of years there where I knew the Lord. I was going to church. I was doing things that I should have done, but then I was also doing things I shouldn't have done. And now that I'm an older man and the Lord's put more wisdom in my head and
A wiser man.
a wiser man,
Yeah.
the thing I understand the most is the destination. The destination's heaven, and we've been studying about heaven in our Sunday school class for several weeks now, and it's just been a blessing because it's focused me to think about that. And if you look at the book of Ecclesiastes, it talks about all is vanity, and that's what this world is. And there's only one focus, and that's Jesus, because Jesus is the only way to heaven.
Yeah.
So when sports and the things we do here that are pleasurable and fun, we can enjoy those things, but they become much more rich when we're enjoying them and not losing our focus. I think a lot of times as diehard sports fans, I'm guilty of this too. You get so focused on the game and so caught up in whatever. Oh, I want this team to win. I want my team to win. I want my team to win. But that's everything. That's your focus. But you can still enjoy those things, keeping your focus on Jesus, and then it just becomes more rich and more pleasurable. And you don't have that great high that's followed by the crashing low.
Yep.
You stay steady, and that's something that I've tried to work on. And I am here to testify that I need a lot more work.
Amen.
And I know that, but at least I'm learning and understanding, and that, if you don't know Jesus as your Savior, and you just, I just want to ask you why. There's one thing in life, and that is to get to heaven through Jesus, and nothing else here matters. You could win 10 state championships in a row. Your favorite team could win the Super Bowl 8 years in a row, and I promise you, at the end of those things, there's going to be an emptiness unless you have Jesus in your life.
I'll wrap it up with you by saying simply this: the book says we're going to give an account. We're all going to give a play-by-play of our lives, and I can assure you, and I've said this when I go out and speak at churches, when I stand up there, he's not going to ask me how many rings I've got. He's not going to ask me how many. I was track voice of Bristol Motor Speedway for 20 years, had a chance to talk to all those different drivers. He ain't going to ask me that. He's not going to ask me how many games I did. He's not going to. He's going to say, he's going to ask you the same thing. With the talents I gave you, what did you do to further my kingdom? That's what he's going to ask Tom Taylor. Period. End of story. He's not going to care if I'm the Cyclone guy, or I got state championship rings hanging out my ears, my nose, and wherever. He ain't going to ask us any of that. He's going to say, with what I gave you to further my kingdom, what'd you do with it? Whew. We best be having that. Well, we better. It'll be us, one-on-one with God. That's what the book says. And I can't go, well, somebody over my shoulder, my grandma told me not to do this, my mom used to, my wife, and what? Yeah. No. So, anyway, that's where we are, and that's what we got to deal with. So, do I love sports? Absolutely. I make a living doing it. At the end of the day, do I go jump off a bridge because we lose? No. Yeah. No, because I got my fingers in the belt loop of the man. I'm rolling on down the highway. You're hungry.
Yeah.
What are you going to get?
I'm going to get that grilled chicken wrap. I see that thing all the way from over here, and that looks good to
It's
me.
going, Doug. It's blank. It's got your name all over it. I love you, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you too, brother.
Yeah, and I'll see you tomorrow night at the old Jamboree.
Depending. J.D. Bones actually covering that for us, and I'm still wrapping up some football stuff, so we'll see how the day goes. So I'm not sure yet.
And I'm not going to tell you why, but I'm going to thank him ahead of time. Thank you for what you did this morning. And leave it at that.
All right. Good deal.
And they'll figure it out sooner or later. All right, David Nanny's next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, talking Elizabeth and Parks and Rec. Top of the hour, Greg Sire talking Major League Baseball. It's getting heated up in the American League West. The Astros, the Rangers, the Mariners getting good. And we'll take a look at Major League Baseball. And a little bit later on, David Collins joins us. Stay with us. We'll be back next talking more from Chick-fil-A and Elizabethton on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. I got a brand new heat pump in my house because this gentleman, it is awesome. If he can help me, he can help you. And you guys have been busy. Tell us how you can help us.
Well, we're getting ready to hopefully get some warm weather. It's hot today, kind of turn, so definitely now's the time to get your air conditioner checked out, spring maintenance. And this is the time to do it. Don't wait till it's 95 outside and not working. Better jump on it.
Yep. Preventive maintenance is always the best on everything, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, especially, we go from heat to cool so much around here, and you never know what's going to be tomorrow. So good to have it checked out and make sure it's going to be ready to go.
What are the telltale signs that things aren't going right on our heat pump?
Well, I mean, that's the bad thing about, it doesn't work. You get home and it's 90 degrees in the house. But we can look at a lot of things. We look at, amperages on motors, bearings, the coils, and clean the coils, just make sure. We can see a lot of stuff on the back end of it that prevent it from tearing down in the future. So you don't want, during the winter, you get high electric bill. That's the big thing you see. Because it'll still work a lot of times in the winter. Your auxiliary heat will spin that meter off a while.
Oh, yes.
But, summertime, it's a little different. You just come home and it's hot in the house.
So what can we do to make sure our heat pumps, the filters, keep them
Filters,
changed?
be sure to change your filters every month. I tell people all the time, when you get your electric bill or just something you do monthly, just tie it with your filter. Whenever you get electric bill, change your filter. It doesn't have to be the electric bill, just anything. Just change your filter. It doesn't have to be the best filter in the world. People ask me all the time what filter I use. I don't use expensive filter. Just don't use one you can see through, but.
Yeah, be a little thin. Yeah, good point. We're talking to Michael Vance of Vance Heat Pump. So, website, social media, and when you do new installations, what do you use? Which brand?
Oh, we're not particularly branded. We do a lot of Rheem, Bosch. Bosch is a really high-end unit, but Rheem and Bosch are two big ones. We also do Air Temp. We do Mitsubishi mini splits. We do geothermal, Intertech geothermal units. We do gas furnaces, air conditioners, geo.
Residential?
Residential, light commercial. We do a lot of churches. Things like that, yeah.
Social media, how do we find you?
AdvancedHeatPump.com, and we're on Facebook also. So.
Can you put us on a regular maintenance program?
Absolutely, yeah. So we got a few options for that. If, like in your case, you just got a new system, this coming year, just do a one-time tune-up. It's $90. We come out, check it out, just make sure it's doing what it's supposed to be. If you want a twice-a-year maintenance, it comes with a few discounts with it. We come out, check it in heating and air conditioning, go through the whole system, at least, in heating mode and cooling mode, and that's a, twice-a-year visit, and it's $190. Or you can wait till it tears up and just pay me to come out and
put in a new one. Phone number to call?
926-2665.
One of our great sponsors of the Tom Dillon Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. Love promoting these folks because I got a brand new heat pump and it is nice. Advanced Heat Pump Systems. Back on the Tom Dillon Sports Show. Look who stopped by. Guest number 2 in the house. He's normally here on Monday, but today he's here on Wednesday. That's okay.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum. Is that this weekend? No, it's next weekend.
No. Yeah, it's following weekend.
Barracuda.
Yeah.
The hardcover band.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of buzz about that. I'm hearing a lot of buzz.
Listen, it's going to be fantastic. I mean, we're looking forward to it. Absolutely free show, right in the middle of the street on Elk Avenue.
Heart.
And I mean, this group is the only group that I know of that was actually, that the group Heart has given their blessing to.
Yep, they've endorsed it.
They're actually endorsed by Heart, so they're something. They're the real deal.
I'm looking forward to it. It's next Saturday night.
Absolutely, we'll have plenty of food trucks, lots of fun. Just expecting a huge crowd, so get there early. We'll start about 7 o'clock, and just a lot of fun.
I start playing. You look at me like, what are you? Bumble it up.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
I didn't know
and
exactly
I thought, what am I doing now? I'm trying to sound like, I guess the song Barracuda.
Yeah, that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
I got it. It took me a minute.
Very poorly, I might add.
Well, no, I'm just a little slow today.
Well, no, I looked down at Barracuda and I thought, yeah, that's that Heart tribute band.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Heart. They're good.
Oh man, I am too. And I know I've said this 100 times, but the girl that does Ann Wilson's part, she does Ann Wilson's part, and no offense to Ann, but at her age and her spot in their career, this girl sounds like Ann used to sound. I mean, like,
Oh, really?
yeah, oh yeah, they're really, really good, and we're certainly looking forward to it. Last year we had Journey on Rockin' on the Dough is the event. That's what we're calling it, and it was great. We had about 4,500 people there. We're expecting more than that this year, and just looking for a great time.
I forgot to do the birthdays today. I think this guy's cool as a cucumber. Sam Elliott having a birthday today.
Mine too.
Sam is 79 years old today. How about that? Still going strong.
And he has a great mustache too.
He does. You do as well.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You got to have the stash.
Sam Elliott, 79 today. Bob Cousy, basketball player, 95 today.
Wow.
And tennis player Rod Laver having a birthday.
Rod Laver.
He's 85. There's your birthdays. So Sam Elliott, 79 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So he's just cool.
He is.
He's a man's man kind of dude.
Exemplifies
Yeah.
cool. That's right.
Yeah. So I guess Tombstone,
Yeah.
Mask. There's a bunch of movies he's been in, but anyway, Sam Elliott's having a birthday. Does all the voiceovers for Smokey the Bear.
Smokey the Bear. No, yeah.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
That terrified me when I was a kid. It's a lot of pressure to put on a kid. You have the bear looking at you. Only you. And I thought, wow.
Only you
me
can
Wow.
prevent forest fires.
Anyway.
Yeah. So happy birthday, Sam Elliott. That old boy in East Tennessee thinks you're pretty cool. So we are live again. We're here at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton. So what's going on this weekend? Anything happening this weekend?
Well, this weekend is the big contemporary Christian concert here at the stadium. So you got Casting Crowns and Jordan Felice. It's going to be fantastic. Expecting that to probably sell out in the next couple of days. So yeah, be awesome. I mean, that's going to be great. We won't have any Covered Bridge jams that night, but we come back with Covered Bridge jams next week with an awesome bluegrass group, Hollow Ground, and they're if you're a fan of law enforcement, they're a bunch of cops, and I'm telling you, but they're fantastic. There's some great guys, great bluegrass music, and then you mentioned Rockin' on the Dough, the Barracuda tribute band. That's going to be huge, and then we just keep going with Covered Bridge jams every Saturday night through. I think September the 16th is our last one, which leads us right into Covered Bridge Days.
Yeah.
And what a lineup we have there. We're Friday night. The headliner is Sister Sadie, which bluegrass night. They're no slouch. These are they're the real deal. These young ladies, and it's an all-girl band, all-girl group, and which is rare in bluegrass to have that many girls and ladies, we'll say, and they're absolutely fantastic. Numerous awards. Saturday night, of course, I've got music all day. Start at 1 o'clock. We'll have some local folks, and then a local person who's kind of well known even nationally now, Carson Peters, and Iron Mountain will play at 5:30, and then at 8 o'clock we've got the Gatlin Brothers, Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin Brothers Band. Big stuff for Elizabethton. And then on Sunday afternoon at 4:30, Colton Dixon, which he's got at least one, maybe two on the contemporary Christian charts. Awesome group. We're so proud of that one too. We're really, really good. We're hoping that all the youth leaders bring their kids out and still have, it's 4:30, so we'll have time. If you're going back to church that evening, probably be able to make it.
He's done a great job, and we talked about this last night during the scrimmage. Our superintendent was bragging about, and it's true, the quality of life you all created the Parks and Rec in the city to bring in these kind of concerts. Last year we brought in the folks were brought in for the Cover Bridge. This year, I mean, you've got obviously Casting Crowns, one of the all-time great contemporary Christian groups, going to be right over here at the stadium in concert on Saturday night. I know they've already sold at Ivan Sanders on the City last Friday, and at that point they'd already sold over 4,000 tickets. So
Right.
it continues to go up. The weather's going to be pretty good, looks like, and so it's going to be in the stadium. So you've got that. You bring in Larry Gatlin, the Gatlin Brothers Band.
Yeah.
I mean, Larry Gatlin's coming to Elizabethton, so down on the Cover Bridge stage. So it goes on, and the whole point. I guess I'm putting words in your mouth, but it looks
No,
like
you're
to
fine.
me, your whole point is create a quality of life, and folks don't have to go somewhere else to be having fun and be entertained. They can stay right here in Elizabethton because you guys are bringing events like you're doing to town.
Absolutely. That's the name of the game. Is we make life fun. We try to, there should be something for everybody, and we just try to fit that niche. Whether it's music, whether it's things for kids, there's something going on. This whole deal, and I get a little excited because I get tired of hearing it, that there's nothing going on in Elizabethton. Well, you're just not paying attention if you say
Sure.
that, because there's something going on all the time, whether it's us doing it or whether it's Main Street or whether it's the school. There is some kind of activity. You just need to get up and get out and go enjoy and go find what you like to do. And there's plenty of stuff out there. There's no reason anyone needs to go anywhere else, really.
Hello, Jules Roberts. I saw Jules' daughter yesterday. It was so cool. First day of school. She comes walking up the sidewalk, and I said, "You ain't wearing blue no more. You're wearing orange and black. Go Cyclones." And she looked up, and Mr. Taylor just grinned. It's her first day of school. She's back teaching in Elizabethton City Schools, which is awesome. She'd been at Unicoi County Schools, so had an opportunity to come back to Elizabethton, and Unicoi County's a great system. She don't want to come home. Anyway, hello, Jules. Jules, chocolate lasagna, please. Have you ever had her chocolate lasagna?
No.
Oh,
No. God.
oh, me, oh my. Jules, I'll pay you to make chocolate lasagna for me and David. So-
Listen, you get her brother's barbecue,
oh, yes.
and then that for dessert. Would that not be? Oh man.
That's where I discovered it. She was
Oh,
out
yeah,
one day
she was
working
doing
for him,
that. Okay.
and so
I'll have
she
to-
said, "You want some chocolate lasagna?" I said, "What? Chocolate lasagna?" I said, "Yeah, let's roll with it." Woo, doggies, it's good.
Sounds wonderful.
She can market that stuff. I'm telling you. All right, Jules, we're putting you on the spot here. You got to make us some chocolate lasagna. I'll pay you for it. It's that good. So, hello, Jules. How you doing, lady? Everett Wagner, Jimmy Ritchie in Lubbock, Texas, watching. Eric Bowers, Charlie Hutchins, Charlotte Tolley. Thank you, kids, for you know him.
Charlie Hutchins.
Charlie Hutchins.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh, best friends in the world.
He's
Great
wa-
guy.
He's watching. So, thank you, sir, for watching the show. And that's the beauty. I know Jules is responding. She said, "Happy to be home, loves her job." She says, "I'll make you some." Yes. The power of persuasion.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
beat that.
Yeah, Grace is home. That's good. And so we're glad she's here. Last night, we had about 1,000 people in the stands watching a football
man.
scrimmage. You had over 3,000 views here watching it all over the country. I mean, folks are starving. They're ready for football to start back up, and school's back in, and we're back into the groove now. And so you guys are providing the different shows here in town. So I know last week they had a Christmas in July, the last week of July in downtown Elizabethton. So there's a lot of good, positive things going on right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All the time.
People moving in here
Mm-hmm.
and new businesses are coming to town. The dress shop over here is coming in. Was it Ross? Is that right?
Oh,
Ross?
okay. Yeah. I think so.
Dress
yeah.
shop right over here going
Right.
to open up. So lots of folks are coming. They see there's a good place to come in and do business in Elizabethton. So
Absolutely.
I got to ask you
Lot of
about
good
you.
people.
Yep. So I'm going to switch gears and ask you about your beloved Miami.
Oh, my Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins. What
Hey,
do you think?
listen, I think my Dolphins are going to be strong. I think they're going to. I say this every year.
We
every
both
year.
say it
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah, I think they've got a good chance. I mean, of going far. I don't know, how far that is, but things look good. I mean, they really do. We were after the Davin Cook guy from Minnesota, which I'd still like to. That would still be a great get to have. But we got 2 strong running backs. They're going to be tough, and defense. We should be really good. I mean, I'll be very disappointed, and I usually don't say a whole lot about it, but I think we'll be all right. What about your Raiders?
The Raiders. I'm optimistic. Of course, I'm always optimistic all the time.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anything. So, but everybody's good until we start to blow the whistle on the first kickoff.
Yeah.
But, so I think we've gotten better. We went and got Jimmy, what's the guy's name? Garoppolo?
Yeah, Garoppolo.
Garoppolo, whatever,
Yeah.
the quarterback from the 49ers. I don't know. I
Well,
would say.
might be.
So, win, lose, or time, a Raider till I die. I just know that. So,
Well, I understand.
yeah, we have been to the mountaintop, and we've been down in the valley a long, long time. So,
If you're like me, Kenny Stabler would still be running around back there throwing the
snake.
ball. I could, I'm glad that I don't. You think you'd like to have some control over or make some decisions, but yeah, it'd be tough because Dan Marino would still be playing, and Larry Zonka, I'm not sure that he could do what he did, but
put him out there.
Yeah, he'd still give it I believe he could still do something.
Jim Kick,
Yeah.
yep, and
Mercury-
Paul Warfield,
Mercury Morris, and
Larry Little.
yes. Oh my gosh.
Kicker
You
was Gary O'Yuprima.
Gario,
Yeah.
I kick a touchdown.
I
he
kick
said.
a touchdown. Football's been good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were the days.
They
sir.
were. They really were.
Bob Greasy.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah. You go way back,
Good
right?
stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Too far back.
So I asked you this before. So the one Dolphin you'd like to hang with for lunch would be Zonka? Or did
Yeah, I met Zonka. I got to spend some time with him one time at a.
Yeah, I heard
it
this
was a
story.
Chamber of Commerce function in Johnson City.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would definitely be the one. He's probably my all-time favorite. Would be Larry, but then Marino. I mean, there's tons.
Jules just said she loved Lyle Alzado back in the day.
Oh yeah,
God, these guys
absolutely.
they were just thugs.
Well, they were animals. I mean, these guys played. Most of them played with everything they had. So much heart. They had talent, but they had heart. They had guts. And you knew who was going to be on the team from one year to the next, for the most part, and they all had jobs in the off season.
Yeah.
Some guys, he's an all-pro lineman and he sells insurance in Topeka. During the off season, and things have changed so much. Just like everything else, money and whatever, ego and.
I'm not condoning smoking, but I know I read the book about the Raiders. They just go in halftime, they sit around and smoke cigarettes and play cards.
Oh yeah.
John Madsen, they're talking about the second half. They're going, you deal. And they're playing
exactly.
cards. They're smoking cigarettes through the halftime. And they go back out and beat them. So they are just Ted Hendrick, Lyle Alzado, those guys.
Man.
Wow.
Stork.
Yep. Jack Tatum. So anyway,
Those are scary guys too.
Yeah.
Man, they were. They had the reputation. I mean, they were the bad dudes of the, the tough ones, tough guys.
saw a picture the other day. They were sitting on their helmets during a game, and there's Al Davis down on one knee talking. There was Stabler, Freddie Biletnikoff. Who was the other one? Marv Hubbard, the running back, and George Blanda. And they're all sitting on their helmets on the sideline, and that Davis, they got their back to us in the picture, and Davis is on one knee talking to them. I thought, what a snapshot.
Oh, yeah.
There's some talent there.
Fred
So,
Biletnikoff was a stud,
Yeah.
and he wasn't very big. I mean,
No.
he was strong enough.
Freddie Biletnikoff
Right.
named an award after him in the NFL. So good stuff. Are you hungry, sir?
I'm always hungry. That's my biggest problem.
Yeah.
As you can see, I am well fed. But
So Chick-fil-A, what are you gonna get today?
I don't know. I may have to do the salad now that I've mentioned my
No.
girth here.
You're not. No. Quit putting yourself down. Grilled chicken cool wrap. That's what Doug Fritz got.
Oh, that
to
sounds good,
take out of
too.
here. But you get whatever you want,
Sounds
and I'll
good.
see you next Wednesday.
Sounds good, brother.
Right here. Thank
All
you,
right.
sir. Great gentleman, great friend. One of the cool things about doing this show, I made a friend. He and his wife and his girls, and of course Vanessa was here Monday on an impromptu. Came in to get food and said, "You want to talk about the cheerleader?"
Good,
So,
good.
all right, put her
Well,
on
they
the
like
spot.
to brag on the girls.
Yes, they did. She did a very good job. So, big fan of their family. Quick break. I'll be right back. We've got coming up Greg Sire talking Major League Baseball. We're live here again. We're on the road at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. One of our great sponsors on Cyclone Football. Again, the great folks at Ivy Hall Nursing Home. Joseph Taylor, tell us what it's all about.
Yes, sir. We specialize in short-term rehab or long-term care. We accept all major insurances. We accept Medicare, Medicaid. What we really love is people that come in that have had a knee replacement, hip replacement, come to Ivy Hall for some inpatient rehab. We have physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We have a full-time respiratory therapist. And Tom, you can see I'm a big guy, so you know I like food. I know good food, and Ivy Hall specializes in home-cooked meals, three good meals a day. You can catch me every day right at the door getting my tray myself.
There you go. That's awesome. How do we find out more about Ivy Hall on social media?
Yes, sir. We have a Facebook page, Ivy Hall Nursing Home on Facebook, or a website, ivyhallnursing.com.
One of our great sponsors, folks. Glad to have them on board. Ivy Hall Nursing Home on Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
To mom this hard, you delegate. Kate, that bathroom's not clean yet. Jimmy, I need help with the dishes, big guy. I delegate like a mother, and I let Food City do the grocery shopping for me. With Go-Kart Curbside Pickup, I tell them what I need and how I like it. I order everything online and pick it all up curbside. With Go-Kart, I'm taking motherhood to a whole nother level.
Mother like no other, only at Food City.
Hey, it's your girl Mayani. A little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A Cobb salad is the chicken. Literally, the nuggets, they smack. When you put those nuggets in the salad, it just brings the salad to life. I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A market salad is that the chicken is super juicy and the apples can be a little tangy, also a little sweet as well. So there's just a ton of different flavors. It's just so good.
Well, we've been a family practice here in Elizabeth, and well, in our office, we understand that there are a lot of patients out there that have dental phobias. And here we try to provide a warm, caring environment for our patients where the patients get the highest level dental care possible, at the same time receiving it in a warm environment where they feel comfortable receiving that care.
Things you offer.
We offer dentistry for the whole family, from the little ones all the way up to grandparents. We provide cleanings, we provide fillings, crowns, bridges, cosmetic dentistry. We restore implants. We try to provide excellent dental care for the whole family.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we are live here again at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton. We're joined by our baseball guru. He joins us every week, Greg Sire. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Tom. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Got lots to cover.
Oh, yeah.
So, let's see. Let's get this. There's some college stuff. I grabbed everything at the same time. Happy birthday again to Sam Elliott, 79 today. Happy birthday to... Oh. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
I thought that was yours. I didn't.
No, mine's over my side of the table. So
okay.
Yeah. So anyway, hang on here. Let's see here. Oh, here it is. Okay, I got everything. Good. All right. Whew. Let's jump in here and go. Major League Baseball trade deadline. I would think, by virtue of how Max Scherzer's throwing for the Rangers, Texas are happy campers. They got Max Scherzer.
Yeah, I think they're happy. I think they that first outing he had, they were going to be a little questionable about it, but they ended up winning the game and everything. But yeah, he's throwing the ball well now. I'm sure they're glad they got him, and yeah, we're going to see him pitching in the playoffs.
2 starts so far for Texas coming over the Mets. He's 2-0. 13 innings. He's given up 4 earned runs. He struck out 15 and only 4 walks, in 13 innings, they're happy.
Yeah,
He's
they're
getting it
happy.
done.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
with good reason.
Yeah,
That's pretty good numbers.
that is.
What kind of, anytime you change a job or take a new job, they always say it takes about 6 weeks. I've always been told, rule of thumb, kind of get acclimated. So
Yeah.
you're with this team today. You're with all your buddies, and you go out to dinner with them after the game, and your wives talk, and your kids
Yeah.
get together and play, and so on and
Yeah.
so forth. Boom, you're up, you move to a new team, new town. What kind of adjustment off the field do these guys have to make?
Huge. It's huge. I mean, we just think about them playing because they play every day. They've got to find somewhere to live. They're moving. So
On the
it's
phone, trying to find realtors, trying to get a job, or trying to get a place to live.
Yeah, try it. I mean, they may have to get utilities hooked up. There's a lot of things they got to deal with. Plus, they got to come into a clubhouse with guys that you don't that they've been adversaries with in the past, and you hope there's no hard feelings about any of that, but you never know. We'll talk about a story about that a little bit later, but yeah, there's a lot of factors in this whole thing.
There's Greg Salyer. Now he's on my team. I threw at him two weeks ago when I was throwing for the Mets. I tried to bean him. Now he's 2 lockers down. I got to be a nice guy. Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom. How you doing? So that does happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So since we're talking about that, I gotta tell you, I came across a story this week that I gotta share because it was too good not to, and it's about Bob Gibson's last game as a major league pitcher. Have you heard about that? Okay. So it was September 3rd, 1975. It's the Cubs and the Cardinals, and Bob Gibson is pitching. Pete Lecoq, remember Pete Lecoq? Okay.
Yeah.
So he's playing for the Cubs at the time. And I tend to remember him more as a Royal, but he was playing for the Cubs at the time. Came up in this game against Bob Gibson and hit a grand slam against Bob Gibson. So Red Sheen-Dietz is the manager of the Cardinals, leaves him in, he gets one more out, and then his career is over.
Literally.
That's it.
Last
That's his last game. Yeah, he retires. So 15 years later, there's an old timers game. Bob Feller is pitching, and I don't know if Bob Gibson was the manager of the team or what the deal was, but Pete Lecoq is on the opposite team.
Beanie.
And he comes up to bat. Bob Gibson takes Bob Feller out of the game and goes into the game to pitch himself and hit him with the first pitch.
Wow, that's a great story.
Can
Really?
you believe it? Yes, that
15 years
really
later.
happened.
Wow, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. That's a great story. So we don't forget, do we? No.
No, Bob Gibson did not have a short memory. That's for
Wow.
sure. He remembered.
Beaned him. Pegged him. 15 years after the fight.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Yeah. So, and you set it up perfect, so I had to share it right then.
By the way, guess what I found the other day?
What did you find the other day?
My Sparky book that you gave me.
Did you?
Well, you didn't give me, but I'm reading it. But I lost it. I mean, I
Okay.
buried it in all these boxes. I'm cleaning.
you mean my Sparky?
Your Sparky book that I borrowed for a year now. But I found it. I picked it up and started reading it. You know that first part of that book, I don't know how I don't know if I can get that printed and put that on my Facebook page. I mean, he nails our society.
Yeah, he does.
And that was, I don't know how
It
many
was
years
in the 90s. It was the early 90s, mid 90s maybe that he wrote it.
20-some years ago, every bit of it, not more. He nailed it. Anyway, I found the book I was reading on Sparky Anderson that Greg loaned me. And so,
and the book reads just like he talked.
yes.
Too.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome. Great book.
Yeah.
I'll get it back to you eventually. So
2025.
I should get 2 for you. Now we're starting back up sports, so I don't have much time to read now. But I finally found the book.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and get you back by Christmas. How about
Okay.
that? Is that good?
Okay. Yeah,
fair
that's
enough?
good. Yeah.
End of the calendar year.
2000th show.
Yeah. Yes. You're going to be on it, by the way.
Okay.
We're
Sounds good.
playing on the first of the year.
Okay.
And Emmy Morgenstern is playing on my show. This lady, if you've ever had a wedding planned by Emmy Morgenstern, she is the best. So I said, Emmy, would you please coordinate, facilitate, organize whatever my 2000 show, which will be, this is 1906 today, so, we're talking somewhere early 2024, so I'd love to. Booyah. So
Wow.
I'm jacked up because
Okay.
whatever it's going to be, it'll be top shelf because Emmy Morgenstern's going to do it.
So I may get like his formal invitation or something.
Yeah, save the date maybe.
Yeah,
something. I
okay.
don't know. So
All right.
she's a wedding planner, does a phenomenal job. So she's going to take on the Tom Dillon Sports Show 2000 show celebration.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, all right, we got lots to talk about in the world of
yeah.
Major League Baseball. Yesterday, the Phillies, they split. They split a doubleheader with the Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit wins. Miami beat the Reds 3-2. Tampa Bay doubles up the Cardinals 4-2. Houston beat Baltimore in a walk-off, or not a walk-off, but a grand slam
Yeah.
in the top of the ninth over on Bautista. Served it up.
Mm-hmm.
And so Houston beats them 7-6. The Braves come back and win 8-6. Cleveland, Kansas City, the Cubs, Colorado, the Yankees, the Angels, Texas, Seattle, and the Dodgers all get wins yesterday. So here we go. Hello, Becky Irvin and Kingsport. How you doing, lady? Here's today's schedule. Day games. Miami at Cincinnati. Ashcraft for the Reds.
And Johnny Cueto.
Johnny Cueto, former Red, who is 0-3, going for the Marlins. Colorado, Milwaukee today. Also day game. Texas at Oakland. Tonight under the lights, Minnesota, Detroit. Washington at Philadelphia. Michael Lorenzo will be on the mound for the Phillies tonight. Cardinals at Tampa Bay. Houston at Baltimore. Flaherty will go for the Orioles, and Christian Javier will go for the Astros. 7-2. Atlanta at Pittsburgh. I like the Astros.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, let me step back and say, I like him. They're going to make some noise in postseason.
So you think they're going to
They're not my favorite team. I think they're going to be a team.
Yeah, they're going to do something.
Yeah, I think they're going to be hard to deal with going down the stretch.
Yeah.
Atlanta at Pittsburgh. Toronto at Cleveland. Kansas City at Boston tonight. Cubs will be in New York against the Mets. Yankees and the White Sox. San Francisco and the Angels. Shohei Ohtani on the mound tonight for the Angels, who have hit the wall. Goodness. San Diego at Seattle, and the Dodgers at Arizona. The Dodgers hit the wall too. So where do we start? Let's start
There's a lot of teams that hit the wall.
Yeah. Let's start. I think this is the hottest division in baseball right now, the American League West.
Okay.
The Rangers have won 8 in a row, 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
The Astros in second place are 3 out. They've won 2 in a row and 7 out of 10. And the Mariners are 6.5 back, and they've won 6 in a row and 8 out of 10. So all three of these teams are hot. What's your take on the AL West right now?
Yeah, so 2 of those teams are going to make the playoffs. I'm pretty confident about that. I really like what the Rangers did at the trade deadline. They're all in. They showed it. They've got a good, solid team. I think they're the team to beat. But like you said, the Astros, I think, are going to be that pesky team because they're the defending champions.
Yeah.
So don't take them lightly by any means. But I see them as more of a pesky team this year, a team that you might not want to play in a short series.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now with Scherzer, they're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, not Scherzer, but Verlander.
Verlander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scherzer's with the Rangers we talked about. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's the West. Central, it's a ho-hummer. Twins, 4.5 over the Guardians.
Twins finally, though, have a decent record,
Yeah.
60 and 55. So
5 over 500.
Finally, somebody in that division has a decent record.
In the East, Baltimore's still Baltimore. They won 7 out of 10. Tampa Bay's hit a slump. They're back up now. They've won 2 in a row and 7 out of 10. They're 2 behind. And the Blue Jays are playing good baseball.
They are.
They're 7 games back. And the Yankees and the Red Sox put a fork in them for a division. They still got a chance for a wild card.
They do have a chance for a wild card. They're 4.5 and 5 games back for the wild card. But they got a long ways to go to get a wild card. Either one of those teams do. But I think realistically, you're going to have to finish in third place in that division to get a wild card. Because I don't know that I'm pretty certain all 3 wild card spots are not going to come from the East.
If we stop today, and we won't, of course, Tampa Bay, Houston, and Tampa Bay, Houston, Toronto will be your 3 teams in the playoffs. And on the outside looking in, on the wild card, Seattle, New York, and Boston. So that would be the American League. Tampa Bay, Houston, and Toronto are your 3 teams looking to be as far as the wild card at this point. But we've got all of the rest of August and all of September. So we're talking wild card now, but it's a little premature because it changes every day.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
In the National League, Braves have won 6 out of 10. The Phillies have won 6 out of 10. Phillies right now one of the wild card teams. And Marlins have sunk. The Mets continue to sink, and the Nationals are 14 under 500, so they're done. Have been done for a long time. So let me go back to the American League. Angels, now looking back, they left Ohtani. They're 57 and 58. They're 11 and a half back. They're out of the running right now for a wild card. So now do you second guess the Angels management by not doing something with him, because they have really tanked it since the trade deadline?
They lost 7 in a row
Yeah.
after the trade deadline. They finally won last night to stop that losing streak. I liked what they did, and I'm like, okay, they feel like they can do something, but maybe, they couldn't. So, I mean, there's still a month and a half to go in the season, so we'll see what happens. But it's more and more not looking like they're gonna be able to pull it off.
Is your mom watching?
She is watching.
Hello, Ev. How you doing, lady? So, everything good in your world, Ev? Hope so. We're just, me and her just communicating, just having a little chat.
Yeah, she's
Everything
gonna
good?
Paint her garage door today, I think. She said.
Painting her garage door.
Yeah.
There we go.
So.
Big day today.
Yeah.
You gonna help? No. She's on her own.
She's in Bristol. I'm in Elizabeth.
And she wants to do it anyway.
That's her thing.
She's
Yeah.
independent.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So she's gonna paint her garage door.
If it doesn't involve climbing a ladder, she does it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, is she brushing the door or spray painting it or?
She mentioned
rolling it.
She mentioned a sprayer attachment that came with a vacuum cleaner that she bought at one time. So I don't know if she's going to spray, or I would guess she's probably going to roll it. But I wouldn't be surprised to see her using a brush too.
Yeah.
So, but
I ever told you my redwood stain fiasco?
I don't think so.
Oh, you gotta hear this. So,
Okay.
good stuff. So, the redwood stain, of which we were staining the deck back in the day, this has been in my adult life. Well, I had the hose, and you had, with the tank. Well, unbeknownst to me, I rented it from the rental place. Well, it had a hole in the back of the tube of the hose.
Okay.
So,
Uh-oh.
yeah, so it's redwood stain, and I had boxwood shrubs all around the deck. So, I guess it was one of my girls came out, because I'm having a big time. I got my Walkman on back today. I'm listening to music. And one of them taps me and says, "The bushes are all red." I said, "What?" I said, "What?" She said, "Daddy, the bushes are all red." So I look over, and the hole in the tube, the redwood stain,
Yeah.
had covered, and they all died because the redwood stain got on there, and they went down to. I mean, I soaked them. I didn't know. So the boxwoods all died. The whole back, the whole backyard was covered in red. I mean, we're talking ambulance red. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And so,
That's funny.
all the boxwoods ultimately died. So I had to replace them. So when I hear painting, I get nervous. So I'm thinking, it didn't go well for me.
Yeah.
In the old painting world. But you know what? If anybody can pull it off, Ev can pull it off.
She can pull it off.
Oh, absolutely.
She can do whatever she wants to do.
You got it. She can do it. She is tougher than a pine knot and got a mind. She is independent, and she'll get her done. So,
turn her loose with a shovel, and you know
a shovel?
Oh my.
Your mother?
Or a hoe. Oh my gosh, give her a hoe.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Your mother can take off and do things with a hoe and a shovel? That's impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not going to tell her age, but his mom is, I'm not diminishing the fact a woman can use a shovel or a hoe, but she's not 35 anymore, but she's right out there doing it. That's impressive.
Absolutely.
Way to go, Ev. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the NL. Well, the Braves did okay. I had a couple guys on the show last week that are concerned about the Reds. I'm sorry, about the Braves. So, are you concerned about the Braves?
I am not concerned about the Braves. 10.5 game lead. They're going to win that division.
They got the best record in baseball.
They do.
People are going, well, I'm worried about it.
Yeah.
Is that her?
No, that was the other Mrs. Salyer.
Ev says she is brushing. She's brushing her garage door.
Okay.
So
she's brushing it.
Brushing her garage door, painting it.
All right.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I would like to see a picture of the finished product, ma'am, maybe for next Wednesday's show.
All right, we'll see what
I'd
we
like to
do.
see a picture of the finished garage door she's painting by brush. Oh, there you go. All right. And can the Phillies, can they catch them?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I really don't. I think the Phillies are in for a wild card. I think they'll get one of those. They're 3 games up in the wild card right now, so I think they got a good shot at that. But I do not think they'll catch the Braves. The Braves are. Look at their lineup. My goodness. I would not be concerned if I was a Braves fan right now.
No.
Now, you never know what's going to happen in the playoffs, but for the division, Braves are going to win it.
You'd almost say the Braves
I watch
fans
them go on like a 10-game losing streak after I said that, but I don't see it happening.
No.
Don't see it happening at all.
37-20 at home, 34-20 on the road. No, I don't see that happening either.
Yeah.
All right, we take the Central Division, the Brewers. They lead the Cubs and the Reds by a game and a half. Reds have lost 7 out of 10. The Cubs have won 7 out of 10. So they're suddenly in the hunt. They're on the move. So what's been the success to turn around with the Cubs?
Well, winning 3 out of 4 in Cincinnati was huge for them, for sure. And I mean, it wasn't just winning. It was a drubbing a couple of those games.
Beat down?
Oh, yeah, 20-9 was one score.
Were you there?
No, but I was there for Saturday's game against the Nationals.
How'd that go?
Not good.
Huh.
Not good at all. So okay, let me just tell you my take on the team currently. So you hear all this stuff about how the Reds are the most exciting team in baseball, and everybody wants to see them play. And there were over 41,000 people at this game. It was a sellout, and the place was packed. I saw very few empty seats. Tommy Thrall on the radio made a comment, and I totally agreed with what he said. He said there's a weird energy in the stadium today among the fans, and that he was right. It was a weird energy. It really was. It was strange. Just the whole feeling of the crowd was just strange. But the Reds gave us very little to cheer for in that game. First of all, Andrew Abbott's on the mound. He's the guy. He's the go-to guy right now because, you know, Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo are hurt. They're both supposed to be back sometime this month. Andrew Abbott's the guy that has put up the results that you need, but Saturday he could not throw a strike to save his life. He just couldn't. And I mean, from my seat, I could see we had fantastic seats for this game. My daughter had never had seats like this before. She couldn't believe it. But we felt like we'd reach out and touch the third baseman. We were that close. So it was pretty cool. But anyway, I could see high and low for the strike zone, but I couldn't see if it was across the plate or not. You know, and he was getting it. I mean, most of his pitches weren't in the dirt and things like that. I mean, high and low they were good, but evidently they were off the plate. And he could not throw a strike. The Reds committed 4 errors in the game defensively. And to beat it all, they did not have a base runner until the 6th inning. The Nationals pitcher, who had not started a game since last year, threw a perfect game for 5 innings.
Much to your disgust because you're a Reds fan.
Yeah.
So you're up there going,
Yeah.
I drove to Cincinnati for this?
Yeah.
Basically?
It was the only word I know, there was no life in that team, and it was pathetic. The only thing that happened was T.J. Friedel hit a 3-run home run in the 6th inning, a couple hits, and here's what happened. There was a base. Luke Mailey finally got a hit. Number 9 hitter in the lineup finally gets a hit in the 6th inning. Ellie De La Cruz, who's leading off, comes up and hits a line drive back to the pitcher that glanced off his glove, which probably scared the living daylights out of him. Okay, I mean, it was a shot right back at him, and he got his glove up, deflected off his glove. It was a base hit, and then the next batter took him deep. And so I understand that because he got rattled. I mean, you have a line drive hit back at you like that, it's going to rattle anybody.
Yep.
And then he gives up a 3-run home run, but that's all the Reds could do the entire game. I mean, they left the bases loaded, I think, later in the game, but could not do anything else. And here was my take. So, you know, they were talking about the trade deadline. They were going to trade Jonathan India, trade Jonathan India. It's all we kept hearing, trade Jonathan India. He's expendable. We have all these other guys. So since Jonathan India has been hurt, because he got hurt before the trade deadline, so they didn't trade him. Nobody would probably trade for him because of that. I think he's the key. I think he's the guy that gets his team fired up.
Well, sounds like he better. They lost 7 out of 10.
And, you know, to me, I mean, I didn't see a lot of life in this team. I like the young players they got, but they didn't do much on Saturday when I was there. They didn't do much on Friday either. So
We're talking to Greg Sire coming up. Rick Walters is waiting in the wings. David Collins, he's walking in the door. We got them stacked up, ready to go. So the Cubs are in second. The Reds are tied for second now with the Reds. In the West, the Dodgers won 3 in a row, 8 out of 10. They lead the Giants by 5. If we played the wild cards today, it'd be the Phillies, the Giants, and the Cubs. Reds on the outside looking in. So
yeah, just because the Reds have record against the Cubs, you know, they've lost more than they've won. So the interesting thing, Tom, if you look at the season schedule, the Reds and Cubs finish the season with 3 games against each other. That's going to be huge.
Home or Wrigley?
I think it's at Wrigley.
Okay.
And that's going to be huge. That is going to be a huge series, I think. Hopefully it is. I love it when it comes down to the last day of the season. But I was talking to a Cubs fan yesterday, and I said, watch that series. I said, that's going to be huge for both of these teams. So,
hungry?
I am hungry.
All right. So we'll get you back in next week.
I have something for you, too.
Oh.
Went to the Reds game. Had to bring Tom something back.
Love it.
Knowing what you like.
Love it.
And it came from the Hall of Fame. The Reds Hall of Fame and Museum gift shop is where this came from. And it's something that I think you will appreciate because I know who you like. It is the program from Marty Brennaman's induction into the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame. With a scorecard enclosed.
That is cool. And this one is phrase, and this one belongs to the Reds. And this one belongs to Marty Brennaman. Wow. I'm trying to get him on the show.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, he's retired. Why would he not do a phone call in? So I'm working on it.
Yeah.
So
keep working.
Oh man, that is so cool. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Look at the scorecard. Woo, doggies. Look at this. Oh, it's still attached.
I think it comes out. Maybe.
No, I'm going to leave it in.
Okay.
Wow. This is the team back in the day.
Yeah, that was the Legends game that they played for the Hall of Fame.
Too cool. The Hall of Fame induction ceremony of Marty Brennaman. So it'll be after the show, sitting here reading Marty's scorebooks. Oh, it's awesome. There he is.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, the greatest of all time. Marty Brennaman. Hall of Fame announcer of the Reds. Listen to him. He's the one kind of inspired me to get into broadcasting because I listen to him every night and think, I want to be like this guy.
Oh, yeah.
So I need to get him on the show to talk. Oh, here he is.
You need to get him on there.
Here's behind the microphone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Woo, doggies. You done good, son.
I thought you might like that.
Thank you. Ev, your boy is
quite
wonderful.
welcome.
Ev's out there brushing out the garage. Ev, your son is wonderful. She goes, Tom, I know that. Tell me something I don't know. That is awesome.
So I even put his name in a tweet this morning.
My name?
No, Marty Brennaman.
Oh.
So there was a tweet about the Orioles, and their announcer and the fact that they have suspended him indefinitely because of negative comments he made about the team.
Which was not negative.
I watched it.
It's a joke.
I watched it like 5 times, and I'm like, all he did was state the facts.
Yeah. They struggled in Tampa Bay against the
Rays.
Rays.
Had struggled. They had lost 15 series in a row against the Rays in Tampa Bay, and he talked about it on the air. So they didn't like it. So here's what I said. So everybody was commenting on this tweet because it was a link to the video of it, so you could set it right there and watch it. And everybody's like, I didn't see him do anything wrong. So my comment was, I can't understand what the Orioles were thinking here. They couldn't survive 5 minutes with Marty Brennaman as their announcer.
Because he went beyond facts.
He
gave
would
opinions.
rip the team to shreds.
Oh, yeah. And all this guy did, I went back and watched it too. I thought
he said nothing.
He made it. presented the facts. This team struggles against Tampa Bay and Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And the Orioles management said ownership didn't like it. They said,
Yeah.
we're going to suspend you because you were negative.
Kevin
He wasn't
Brown
negative.
is his name.
Yeah.
And I'm like, golly.
He wasn't negative. He was factual.
He just told what the and basically he was putting a good spin on it because the fact that they're winning this year.
Yeah.
That's what he was trying to say.
And he did say.
Yeah, they've turned
They
it
took it all
around
wrong, yeah.
and they're winning this year, and they suspend him because he does that. So I was like, this team wouldn't put up with Marty Brenneman for 5 minutes
No.
because he would rip them to shreds.
Yep. And
So-
justifiably so. So,
Yeah, I mean,
But thanks, man.
he didn't care who it was. He,
No.
he tore Barry Larkin up a few times.
Yeah.
You know, called him out. So
love it, man. That's
yeah,
cool. That's a good read
I
tonight.
thought you'd like that.
Oh, you made my day. That's awesome. Ev, I like your son even more now. So, Tom, I know that. Leave me alone. I'm trying to paint. Okay, I got you.
She's probably taking a break because she wouldn't. She has to watch on her computer, so she wouldn't have that outside. So
Okay.
she's taking a break.
See you next week.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. That's awesome. Very
You're
kind.
welcome.
That made my day. Quick break. Right back. Rick Walters joins us next on the Tom Taylor Sports.
I'm Dr. Beth Cannon with Cannon Family Dental. I've been in practice here for going on 11 years now. Cosmetic dentistry is definitely one of my favorite aspects of what I get to do. Being able to change someone's appearance and how they feel about themselves is such a rewarding aspect of my job. When you get to see somebody start to cry when they look in the mirror for the first time and they're seeing their new smile, it makes everything worth it. Because a lot of people, don't smile because they're not happy with the way their teeth look. And it might be something as simple as just changing the shade of their teeth or just changing the shape or size. There's a lot of things we can do cosmetically that are not too invasive to really change your overall appearance. We do the whitening, we do a lot of crown and bridge work. If you want a bright white smile, you can absolutely have it. Once we get that process going, of course everyone's a little nervous, like, okay, I'm changing a big part of my life. And honestly, I kind of thought to listen to a patient say, well, I want to do this, my daughter's getting married or my son's graduating from college. I'm having a baby and I want to have really pretty maternity photos done. Can we do something to just make my smile look better? And being able to enhance that experience for patients is just, you just can't describe how it is. When they come back in and you get to see pictures of the wedding or pictures from the trip or whatever has really got them motivated, it's just, I really can't explain it. That's really why I do what I do. So if changing your smile and doing some cosmetic work has been something on your mind, please give us a call. We would love to have you come in so we can take a look and talk to you about having that smile you've always dreamed of.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Look who stopped by. Our buddy Rick Walters, Horseman Insurance, one of our great sponsors. And I'm proud to have him, and he proudly has my car insurance and my homeowner's insurance. Right?
That's
I'm
right.
proud of it. I don't know if you are. I am. I like it. He takes care of me. He gets it done. Della Campbell, Jordan Mitchell, Jimmy Stout down in Georgia, Jimmy Rich in Lubbock, Texas, Jules Roberts, Reba Whitehead. Who else here real quick? I want to get into Patsy Lyons. Hello, Patsy. How you doing, dear? Appreciate you. Charlotte Tolley. Thank you all so much for watching the show. All right. We are busy. What did you think last night? You were in the press box. What do you think of the scrimmage last night?
I tell you what, them Cyclones are they're back. I mean, the energy those kids had and ability. It seems like their defense was pretty stout. We got a lot of kids back, and those young quarterbacks, they were showing their stuff last night.
Absolutely. Our defense is stout, folks. I'm telling you. Now, how's that transcend when we start playing in the counts? I don't know. But the two scrimmages I've seen, we'll see them tomorrow night too over at ETSU. It's probably around 6:30, 7 o'clock. So they're going to play that second game. We play the second one, and don't know how it's going to transcend in the season. But all I can tell you is the two games I saw, or two scrimmages, were lights out defensively.
They were really good. Our offensive line was young, but they were. If you can get Big J through those tackles, it ain't fair for those defensive backs to try to tackle him. He looked pretty good last night.
The J train can run it, folks.
Yep.
He's a load, only a 10th grader. All right, let's take a look at Rick Walters, Horseman Insurance. Summertime. Morgan's here. We have Morgan on in a few minutes. He is the Tarzan. He's a swimmer And Kelly Broussard said, get Morgan on. He's done a great job, so we'll get you on in a few minutes. And then we got Mr. Collins going to join us got a big auction coming up this weekend with 400 guns.
Wow.
400 guns, all ammunition. He's doing an auction for the Gray City Gun Store. I think's the name of it. That's closing down. So anyway, tell me what's going on right now in the land of insurance.
We're busy, Tom. All the teachers are back at school right now. We finished up our in-services, and we're doing enrollments, open enrollments, and just a great time of the year for the educators, and a great time for Horace Mann, making sure that they've got the coverages that they need on their homes and auto, making sure they're starting their retirement savings. This is our busiest time of the year.
Car insurance going into the fall months, just anytime we should be doing a checkup on what we should have on our car insurance policy. What are some of the must-haves?
Oh, well, one of the main things that you want to do as you're preparing, look at your tires, Tom. We get these little rainstorms that come through, and if you've got some bald tires on your car, it's going to get slick, and you're going to wind up in the ditch. And so be sure and look at your tires, and if they need to be replaced, and go ahead and replace them, because it seems like every afternoon now we'll get a little thunderstorm come through, and it makes the roads just that much more hazardous. You want to make sure that the coverages are adequate on your cars right now. Once a car gets a certain age, you might want to look at adjusting your different coverages to make up for that. Sometimes, when a car is 10 or 11 years old, you might not need full coverage on it anymore. I was talking to a lady today. She had a 2007 vehicle, and the junkyards are full of vehicles from 2007. That
Right.
people eventually will wreck them, and the parts for them aren't as expensive, and so it might be just as cheap to fix a car yourself, when they get that old, than to carry insurance on it, where you're paying every month or every 6 months extra coverages that, if you wreck your car and total it out, they're just going to pay you the blue book value for it anyway. So kind of talk with your agents and adjust your coverages to meet the year, make and models of your car. The most important thing you can have, though, is adequate liability coverage, because if you hurt somebody on the highways, you got a chance to lose a lot of stuff. So
Yep.
you want to make sure that you have adequate liability coverage on there, at a minimum 100, 200, recommended 250, 500, and maybe even an umbrella policy on top of that to cover up to $1 million. If you go down to the local dealership now and walk around and look at the price of these new cars, and then you go back and look at your policy and you say, hey, look, I've only got $50,000 worth of coverage for property damage, and so that means if you wreck one of these $80, $90, $100,000 pickup trucks, you're on the hook for whatever over and above that coverage.
Absolutely.
So you want to make sure that you've got adequate coverages on the cars, and with schools starting back, school zones, there's more people on the highways taking kids back and forth. School buses are out there stopping. A lot of people are texting on their phones. Next thing you know, you look up and there's a school bus stopped in front of you, and you don't have time to slam on brakes. So you need to be aware of that. Put your phones in the glove box or somewhere while you're driving. Try not to look at them. Try not to use them. That's some things that we can talk about. Now, if you're using your cell phone in a school zone, and a lot of the resource officers are actually looking for that, there's an extra penalty on it, and you lose more points on your license, and there's a larger fine if you're using your cell phone in a school zone. So be aware of that.
Dr. Rick Walters, who is the #1 horseman agent in the entire country. Numero uno for the entire United States. How many agents?
We've got about 3,000 employees.
#1, right here sitting beside me. Kelly Buckle says Cyclone defense is fast at every position. We are. We'll find out again some more tomorrow night at the Jamboree against Westridge at East Tennessee State, right around 6:30 tomorrow night. Against $10 to get in. No streaming, no media coverage. Just go over there and watch it and enjoy it. And so that's what we've been told, and that's what we're going to do. We'll be there tomorrow night. So again, Rick, again, the #1 horseman agent in the entire country, over 3,000 agents, and so it's been a good summer for you. Before I let you go, tell me real quick again, let me hit this right here. Talking to our buddy Rick Walters, one of our great sponsors. Things we need to have on our homeowners insurance policy.
Well, right now, with these storms coming through, you need to make sure that the limbs are cut away from your house. Just some extra things like that. Make sure that during the summer, you have a tendency to have mold and even grasses growing on your roof with the summer months, where some dust have piled up around chimneys, around the corners of your house, on your second easements. So make sure those things are pressure washed off, and because they could cause a hazard. And if it's something that's not all of a sudden, your insurance policy is not going to cover it. So if you've got mold growing on your house or these little moss type deals and it wears your roof down over a period of time, that's something that insurance companies aren't going to cover. They're going to cover things like immediate hail damage from a windstorm or from a hailstorm, the wind damage, from one of these local storms that blow up, lightning, of course. It'll cover those types of policies that happen all of a sudden. But if it's something that takes a long time over, it's just lack of maintenance, your policies aren't going to be able to cover those types of things. So be sure that you have adequate coverage on there. Check your deductibles with the cost of building materials and things like that going up. Nowadays, you've got a lot of people out there that haven't updated their coverages, their policies. They might need to have more coverage than what it's going to take to rebuild a house. So if you've got less coverage than that, you want to make sure that you're able to adequately replace your house if you do have a tragedy.
That's the name of the game, folks. Again, social media, how do we find you?
We're at horacemann.com, and we also have a Facebook page, Educator Benefit Insurance Service here in Elizabethton. You can call us on our phone at 423-543-0059, or like I said, horacemann.com is another way to find us.
I'm glad you got me insurance with you, sir. You take care of me, and I appreciate that very much.
Okay.
So, go Cyclones, right?
That's right. I'm looking forward to this season. I think it's going to be a real good one.
Yep. I agree with you 100%. We'll take a quick break, come right back. He's here. He's ready. Mr. Collins in the house. He joins us next. And then Morgan on the Tom Taylor Sports.
Oh, it's snowing.
Right. Okay.
Let's make a snowman.
Can't now, honey.
Dad?
Sorry, kiddo.
Want to make a snowman? I can't see.
Welcome, Sam. You're right on time.
You know me?
Of course. You want to make a snowman, right?
How did you... Hey, what's that?
That's lost time. And then there's time that flies.
Whoa.
Together time. The best kind. It can make memories that last forever.
I wish my family could understand.
Here, sometimes people just need a little reminder.
Sam, where are you?
Time to go, Sam.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Mom, Dad, guess what? Cats took me to a time shop. What? Have so many clocks and cuckoos. Lost time and time that flies and all kinds of time. And here, the kind you give.
What is this? Okay, everybody. There we go.
This is actually really fun. He's done.
You are?
National champion sportscaster.
I am?
To me, you are.
Oh, David Collins, you're so sweet. That's what we're supposed to say. Sweet to another guy, probably not.
No, that's all right. That's cool.
You need to come over here and do the rose. I'm not doing the show unless she does it.
Why'd she come
I'm not
for?
doing it.
Why'd she come for?
I'm not doing it.
That's the way it goes.
Yep.
We'll quit. Silent
Do you
treatment.
come right over here and stand behind and get this over with the rose and the
Get over here. I got stuff to do.
We got things to do. Come on, we got Morgan waiting. Come on. She can smile real big and go over and sit down, and she can glare at us.
Here she comes. Here she is.
Here she is, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at her.
Look at her. There she is, the rose between two thorns. See? Wasn't so
Y'all got
hard
that.
to do.
They got that, didn't they?
No, that's exactly
Yeah.
right. David Collins from Collins Company. We got one coming up here on Saturday, folks. You've been able to bid on it all along. 400 firearms. Gray City Guns, complete store liquidation, shutting down. Got to move it. Guns, ammo, display
Name it.
cases, everything, right?
430 some firearms is what's there, and ammunition, scopes, you name it, we got it, and we're going to sell it, highest bidder.
Yep. This coming Saturday.
This coming Saturday.
Now, we can go to collinsandcompany.info and do what now?
You can go in there and register to bid. Right now, if you're going to bid from your online or you want to show up and bid in person, you can do it either way you want to.
Yep. So we've been talking about it, and here it is, folks.
Yep, we got all day Saturday. We've got 2 food trucks coming, so don't worry about going hungry. We'll feed you.
Physically, this will be in Gray, right?
Yeah.
In behind the Burger King?
Behind the Burger King, yep.
Suncrest Drive. Yeah.
Big deal.
Big deal.
Big deal.
That is Saturday.
10 a.m. we'll start up, so come early, get you a parking place. We'll have seating. We'll have chairs. We're under the big tent.
Do they need to get registered to bid now before they get there? They can do it. They can do it either way.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you'll bid if you're coming live. You'll get registered to bid there.
Okay.
On site.
All right. Here's a new one starting on the 14th, which is Monday. I'll set that one. This one started. You can bid on this one now. Long Hollow Road in Elizabeth. And tell me about this one.
Yeah, little fixer upper or tear it down, put you a house there or double wide. It's over in the county, right there in Long Hollow, private location. Just a investment type property there. I think the starting bid is $22,000. 4 acres. You can't buy nothing for $22,000.
collinsandcompany.info. Get on there and bid. Make it happen.
Yep, get on there and bid. We got the next one.
This one started. This is current.
Yep.
So this is
Online.
on Dale Blevins Lane and Roan Mountain. Tell me about
Roan
this
Mountain,
one.
Tennessee. You talk about a neat garage. It's 3-bay. Got RV parking there in the garage. Doors are high enough. Garage is high enough. Really, 2 acres of land, a little over 2 acres. Private location. Got an older house that'll drive under the garage there that needs remodeling, but bargain.
Now, this doesn't do it justice. Go online, collinsandcompany.info. You can see everything I'm showing them much better because this computer camera don't do it justice.
Right.
So.
We've got a video there of drone video and all that there as well.
All right, now we got some property to show you, then we'll finish up with this the auction starts on Monday. Mrs. Little has been busy, has she not?
She has.
Yeah.
Yeah, she needs to be.
Yeah. Oh, if you could see that look. I'm glad those flames went right past me to you. She went. So, Price Road in Elizabeth. Tell me about this one.
Pretty house. You talk about a beautiful setting. One of the prettiest settings that for a home in Carter County, right there in the Stony Creek area, on the Stony Creek, but really flowing creek. Pretty yard, large home. I think there's 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, or something. I can't remember, but really a neat home. Good condition. We got 3 garages there.
5 bedrooms, 3 baths.
Yeah, 5 bedroom, 3 baths. It's got a mother-in-law's quarters as well there. So really nice place.
One level?
One level, all one level.
Unaka Elementary, Middle, and High School. So
Yep.
it's Stony Creek.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Nice home.
Then we
Really,
go
really
to property on Willow Springs Road. Tell me about this one.
Yep. If you're looking for a building lot, mobile home lot out in the county, really a good lot right there. A little steep on the front, but it levels off on the back part of the property. But a really nice home spot right there, private location in the county.
There you go. We have one more. This is in Johnson City on Althea Street.
Newly remodeled.
Fairmont Elementary, Indian Trail Middle, and Scienceville High School.
Yep, newly remodeled, ready to move into. We've got a nice open floor plan there, drive under the garage, pretty yard, really nice yard for city limits. You don't get a yard like that. But totally remodeled, ready to move into.
This would be a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home with a fireplace, a garage space, and that's location Fairmont Elementary, Indian Trail Middle, and Scienceville High. That's right in the middle of the city.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
location.
Good location right there off of Oakland Avenue.
Oakland Ave, yep.
Yep.
Althea Street. CollinsandCompany.info. All these are on there. Then Mrs. Little is pointing to this, so here we go. Just want to will you say hello to Jimmy down in Lubbock, Texas, please?
Hey, Jimmy.
Hello, Jimmy Ritchie.
Lubbock, Texas.
Lubbock, Texas. There
Been
you go.
there.
Have you really?
Yeah, been through there.
Cool. Didn't stay though, did you? Came on back,
Came
didn't you?
on back to these
Came on back to the
hills.
mountains. Are we not in a beautiful place? Are we not lucky to be
That's
here?
why everybody wants to live here.
I'm telling you, I'm being serious. It is the coolest place in the world.
Yeah.
Good old East Tennessee and Appalachia. They're moving in here by the droves.
You know, I had a live auction Saturday, and we had 5 people from different states drive in to try to buy property Saturday here for an auction.
Yeah.
So a live auction. So it tells you how many people want to get here and what
Yeah.
the market's like.
Yes.
Still a good market. Anyway,
Online auction, lifetime collection, collectibles, vintage, and antique starts Monday. How many lots in this, sir?
they're going to be probably 1,100 lots.
1,100 lots.
Huge auction. Collectibles. I mean, you name it. This guy was a collector. We got lots of vintage, lots of primitive stuff there. Advertising signs, small collectibles, blue canning jars, number 13 canning jars, the blue ones. We got 2 of that in there.
Those are hard to find.
Hard to find. We've got some E-Goods liquor bottles in there too, Bristol, Tennessee. A nice collectible item. We got barber poles. Really good, a good auction, the kind that we like to do. It's just a lot of good collectible stuff there for the collectors.
What's that one? S&H
S&H
screen
screen stamp, metal sign.
A metal sign?
Metal sign,
Wow.
yeah.
You don't see those anymore.
The Camel cigarette metal sign. We've got metal advertising thermometers, antique. Just too much to name. All kinds of stuff.
Musket balls, blue
cast
candy
irons.
jars, medicine bottles,
Yeah.
vintage tools. What's that word there?
Cast iron Affirma.
What's an Affirma?
That's paper, older paper advertising booklets and stuff like that. That's antique.
2 motorized scooters, an oak Bible table, brass sleigh bells, stoneware. So a little bit of everything. 1,100.
Yep.
Buck a bid starts.
Dollar bill. Yes,
Dollar
sir.
bid.
Yep.
Buck a bid. Starting out at a buck a bid.
And whatever it brings, it's going to sell.
Go up.
There you go.
Yep. You ship it all over the world.
And we'll have nationwide. We'll have plenty of nationwide bidders on this stuff as well.
RC Cola thermometer. And you don't see those metal thermometer. You don't see those around much anymore.
Nope.
And there's a Camel cigarette sign. And gosh, it is cool. I have to get on and check that out myself.
Oh, it's really neat. Really neat. Barber poles sign, light. It works.
I love it.
Right there. See it?
Oh, actually,
Mailbag, vintage mailbag.
vintage mailbag.
You know what people do with those? They hang them on the wall and put fake flowers hanging down in them. That's what they do. They decorate with them now. So.
See, is this what he does at his house? He have mailbags with flowers on the wall on them? Old redneck David? Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. I've got metal signs all over my garage.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
I do too. I got them too.
Yeah.
So
Vintage. I like them.
I like these old vintage thermometers. I got one the other day, RC Cola.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So
there you go.
I like them. Anyway, this right here, folks. 1,100 things to bid on. Starts on Monday. We can get on there and look now, though, right? Stuff's on there.
Yeah, we've not got many pictures uploaded yet. We've been so busy. Then we've got more auctions like this one coming up too. I can think of 2 more, 3 more, 4 more. We've got auctions. We've got them running out our ears. We're busy. We've got at the 10-unit apartment complex. We'll be doing an online auction on that coming up. We'll have a house auction in the south side. We've got homes in town we'll be selling. We've got a land auction in the west end of Carter County we'll be doing. So.
You ready for vacation? You just came off of it. You ready to go again?
Yeah.
You ain't been on vacation yet? Oh, well, getting ready to go, though, soon, ain't we? September, we're gone.
Thank the Lord.
Thank the Lord, he says. What's he going to do while you're gone? You remember that. When he calls you on vacation, when he does, just send back thank the Lord, and he'll understand. There you go. That'll be your code. There you go. Thank the Lord.
There you go. Yeah.
Your face is red. He got you. Boom. Mrs. Little got you.
Boom.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you, sir. You're a good man. I know you're busy. Get you some lunch. Thank you.
We're gone. We got auction pickup today. So
auction
if you bought
pickup.
stuff last night at online auction, be sure to come pick it up today.
That's awesome.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You're a good man. Love promoting that fella right there. He does good. All right, quick break. Morgan is in the house. He joins us next on the Tom Daly Sports. Great sponsors here on the Tom Daly Sports Show and Cyclone Sports from Northeast Community Credit Union. Credit Sense by Savvy Money. Tell me about this.
Yeah, that's basically just a term for checking your credit score for free. It does not affect your credit score when you check it. There is no impact whatsoever. It is a soft pull. It is through our home banking. If you're a member, you can log in through your home banking and then you can check your credit score for free. You can also get specialized loan officers on there as well. You can see how your credit score is calculated. You can see how your credit score is going to be impacted if you get a loan. You can go ahead and calculate that. You can get instant access to the factors impacting your credit score, such as the payment history, credit usage, all of that stuff. And the best part, there are so many articles under resources for saving money, for your future, for retirement, for planning. I mean, there are so many articles, short articles. If you have any questions about how to improve your credit score, it's on there. And this is just a wonderful feature. It is free. There is no charge whatsoever. So take advantage of that if you're a member with us.
BeMyCU.org. That's where you want to go. That's the starting point. Go from there to find out more about Credit Sense by Savvy Money from Northeast Community Credit Union, one of our great sponsors here on the Tom Daly Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. And back on the Tom Daly Sports Show, our last guest. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Morgan Roselle. Did I get it right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How old are you, sir?
I'm 17.
17 years old.
Yes, sir.
You went swimming in Tupelo, Mississippi, and where was the other place?
Huntsville, Alabama.
Huntsville, Alabama. He's a member of the Elizabethton swim team. And tell us what happened, sir. This summer, been recently?
This summer. This was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. All right. Tell us what happened.
So at this last meet, which was the Tupelo, Mississippi one, it was against over 500 swimmers.
Really?
With some D1, with actually a lot of D1 athletes, lots of University of Kentucky swimmers. So it was really cool getting to watch all of that happen.
Did you swim against them?
I swam against them.
Now you're going to be what grade at Elizabethton?
I'm a senior.
So he's a senior against kids in college.
Yes, sir.
And D1 swimmers from all over the country.
Yes, sir.
And you not only held your own, you did pretty good, didn't you?
I came in, my best events, I came in third, and the only two people I lost to were two D1 swimmers.
Wow. What event was that?
The 200 backstroke.
200 backstroke.
Yes, sir.
Gosh, how did you get interested in doing the backstroke? That's a tough stroke to do, isn't it?
It's very tough. I don't know. I just, one day, when I was little, I was absolutely horrible at backstroke. Now I just feel smooth doing it.
Yeah. Like it. What was your best time?
My best time's a 2:13.93.
2:13.
Yes, sir.
So for those of us that know anything about a pool, that's down and back or down and back 3 times? How's it work?
In this is long course. So a normal pool is 25 yards. This is 50 meters, so it's double that. So this is down, and back.
In 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
2 minutes and 13 seconds. Yes, sir.
He's going down the water. Looks like a jitter. What's them little bugs on top of the water?
Yeah, exactly.
Not a jitterbug. I forget what they're called. Maybe dragonfly. I'm not sure what it is, but they're going right down the water. So that was the only one. You do another event too?
I did 6 events.
Oh, okay. Tell me about them.
I came 18th in my 800 freestyle, which is 16 down. So 16 laps, which is a lap is down. And I did that in 9 minutes and 10 seconds. 9 minutes and 10 seconds. Then I did a 100 backstroke, which is down and back, and I did that in 1 minute and 3 seconds.
Okay.
200 IM, which is a lap of each stroke, so butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle.
How'd you do on that one?
I did really good. It was a 2:15.95. Yeah, 2:15.95. So I was really happy with that. And everything else, there was only one event I didn't come top 15, which was the 800.
So what did the D1 swimmers, I mean, here's this punk from high school down there, and he's wearing us out. I mean, did they say anything? Because I'm thinking, if I'm the college guys, I'm thinking, this little dude from Elizabethton, Tennessee comes in here and shows us how to swim. I don't think I'd be too cool about that. Were they cool about it?
Some of them were, some of them you could tell they really weren't.
It's like, who's this kid over here showing me up? That's awesome.
Yeah, one of the kids we swam against, he qualified for Olympic trials, and he was 6'7", probably 230-ish pounds. This dude was massive, but he was one of those, hey, you do the best you can, and he was happy for me and all.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
And some of them weren't so happy because Morgan was on the scene.
Yes, sir.
Your mama's over there, right?
Yes.
That's your mom? Yeah, she's grinning like a fox in a hen house. And so, yeah, that's awesome. So how does this get you ready now? You swim for Elizabethton High School. So
Yes,
I would think if I'm you and I do well down at these much better swimmers than you're going to probably see in high school, does that kind of give you a leg up and get you ready for the new season?
Yes, so it gives me a really big advantage because there was only 4 people from all of Northeast Tennessee that went to this meet. Me and one other boy, which is part of Barracudas, and then 2 girls from Barracudas. We're the only 4 that went.
It's awesome.
So it really helps us because we're used to the smaller meets, just dual meets, which is just 2 teams. But this against such bigger teams, we now know how to control like our races and everything better.
So when you swam in this meet, what'd you say, 500 folks?
About a little over 500 swimmers.
So, and I'm trying to think, all right, you get there early in the morning, do they draw your name out of a hat? They put you in there based on times? And
They put you in there, you choose what events you want to do, and then they put you by your times.
Cool. So I want to do the backstroke, and they say, okay, you're right here, so we're going to start you 9th.
Yes,
That's kind of how
exactly.
it works?
Yes, sir.
How many of these events you have to do the same day, all of them?
2 events, 2 events the first day, 1 event, then 2 events.
So you're there 3 days.
Yeah, but it was also prelims finals, so you have to do it in the morning, and then I made it back at night, so I had to do all of those events twice.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
So you slept good?
Yeah.
You was plumb tuckered out. You was tired.
I was very tired after that.
Wow. That is awesome. So
Thank
what
you.
will you will swim the same events in high school?
I'll swim some of the same events, but in high school, they don't have the 200 backstroke or the 800, so I'll be doing the 100 backstroke and the 500 instead.
Yeah. That's awesome. We're talking to Morgan Roselle again. We are here live at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton. He's a Elizabethton swimmer who did very, very well. What do you think about your coach going to Sarasota winning the national championship?
It was amazing. We were watching on one of the swimming apps, and we're like, okay, she's doing good, and then all of a sudden we're like, she just came first. She's now the national champion of that event.
So if I'm on the swim team, I'm thinking, I better get with her. When she tells me to do something, because she can get down in the water and go with me.
Exactly.
She just doesn't talk the talk. She can walk the walk now.
No, yeah, she'd beat most of us, and she knows what she's talking about.
Yes.
So
She would beat you, or she has beat you?
it would be close on some events. She hasn't beat me yet. I'll have to race her though to see how that goes.
Yeah. I think that's really cool. We're very proud of you. So right now, she said August and September is kind of downtime, right?
It's downtime, but I start back swimming next week. I start back training and everything.
Tell us about a typical day on a swim team, because most folks don't know you swim before school. Tell me about that.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do morning practice, which is 5:30 to 7:20. And that is, we do 30 minutes of dry land, so that's weights or whatever activity outside of the water. And then we get in the water and normally do about 4,000 yards.
Before school?
Before school. And then once you get out of school, you go and do about 6,000 to 7,000 yards.
He's in the water at 5:30, swimming till 7:20. You go to school, class starts at 7:45 or thereabouts. Go all day to class, then you come back out in the second half and you do another practice in the afternoon, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
And then during like the winter breaks time, we do 3-hour practices, which are over 10,000 yards.
you swim 10,000 yards in a practice?
In a practice, yes, sir.
Okay, football field's 100 yards, so you do 100 football fields, is that right?
Yes, sir.
100 times.
Yes, sir.
They do 100 yards, 100 football fields, I should say, practice. That would make 10,000 yards.
Yes, sir.
That's one day.
That's one day. And that's not all freestyle. That's all different strokes, different movements, and different techniques.
100 football fields in one practice.
Yes, sir.
Wow. See, that's why I talked earlier in the show. I love promoting the minor sports because they work hard too. So does football does, basketball, we know that.
Yeah.
but the wrestlers do, the cross-country people do, the swimmers do. Pick a sport, they all working hard in their respective sport. So you're out there swimming 100 football fields in the afternoon. In the morning, you did 4,000. That's what, 40 football fields? Is that right?
About, yeah.
To do 4,000 yards and 100 yards of football field, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you did 40 football fields before school, go to class, come back out of class, and do another 100 football fields and practice in the afternoon in one day.
About, yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How much sleep does that require for you to do?
Not as much as you wish.
Oh, got you.
You wish you had a lot more time, but you don't.
Because you have homework and different things, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's awesome. Morgan Roselle, that's cool stuff. So
Thank you.
we'll be looking forward to calling your name again coming up come swim season. Will be here before you know it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Really soon.
Are you hungry?
Yes, sir.
Why would he not be? The guy swims
Exactly.
842 football fields a day. So, yeah, go get you something to eat and enjoy it. And thanks for coming
Thank
on the
you.
show. Yeah. That's pretty impressive, folks. See, people just don't, if you're not in a particular sport, you don't understand the training that's required, whether it's cross-country or wrestling, in this case swimming. We know football and basketball takes a lot of time, and volleyball and soccer, but swimming, that's incredible, quite frankly. All right, quick break. We'll be right back. Soon as they hit this magic button, we're here live again at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Carter Lingerfeld Drug Center, 'tis the season. Let's start pinworms.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
So that is something a lot of people are real embarrassed to come in and ask about. But, a lot of people don't realize, small kids, it's more common than you would think, between small kids and dogs. You touch something that may have the eggs and then touch your mouth, before you know it, you would have them and not really even realize that it's happened. But what a lot of people don't know about that, for pinworms, that's a liquid medicine we've got for it. Just one little dose cup and you're good. It's just a one-time treatment. But what most people don't realize is if you've got, a wife and 2 kids, if one person's got it, the whole house has got to get treated for it. So that's something, like I said, it embarrasses a lot of people to come in and ask about it, but it's a lot more common than you'd think, and it's real easy treatment and not very expensive either. I think
less than $12.
Yeah.
$11.59 for this product. Again, takes care of pinworms, and so there you go. There it is. So that's item number 1. Item number 2. How to stop bleeding. This is interesting.
Yes.
Bleeding control spray and bleeding control bandages from Curad. Tell us about these.
Yes. Anybody knows me knows I'm injury prone. So I keep those Band-Aids in my car and my computer bag, about everywhere. But what that is it's got, it's like a powder that's got a clotting factor in it. And if you either use that spray or it's on the pad of those Band-Aids, if you've got a cut, won't stop bleeding, those things will stop it just about instantly. It's really surprising how well those work. But with everybody getting out gardening and doing outside projects, that's something a lot of people's been asking for lately.
$3.59 for that. The Curad bleeding control bandages. Get 30 bandages for $3.59 here at Lingerfeld Drug Center in downtown Elizabeth. And here's the spray. It goes for $7.49, and neither one of these will bust your billfold. So, and need to have one of those. Just keep it in the glove box, wherever, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Be smart to have that.
And that spray is what I like myself, because I always end up cutting myself in a weird place that I can't get a Band-Aid to stick. So that spray does it good.
Talking to Dr. Eric Carter again with Lingerfeld Drug Center. We're here at his place. We come here once a month. Love coming here. One more before the break. Homeopathic pain. Tell me about this.
Yeah, a lot of people, have joint aches and pains, and some people don't want to take things like Tylenol or pain medicine or anything like that. They'd prefer to do something more natural. And what we've got here is it's actually made from mountain daisies, an actual flower. But it's a natural product. It's like a roll-on stick, and people say that they've had real good success with it. You just roll it on, and it's supposed to help get rid of that pain for you.
$8.69, by the way, for that. There you go. Social media, how do we find you?
We're on Facebook as Lingerfeld Drug Center, and got a new website too. And the link for the website's on our Facebook. So
that's the key. And then the phone number is?
It's 423-542-2138.
One of our great sponsors, Making It Go for Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. I love coming out here and promoting this gentleman and his great company and a great store at Lingerfeld Drug Center. And back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. Happy birthday today to Bob Cousy, who's 95. You had Rod Laver, the tennis star. He's having a birthday today. Rod Laver has 85 candles in his birthday cake. Basketball Hall of Famer Bob Cousy, the Boston Celtics, 95 today. And then my man Sam Elliott's having a birthday. 79 years old today, so happy birthday to Sam Elliott. Big thanks to our guest, Doug Fritz, Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times news sports writer. Also, big thank you to David Nanny from the Elizabethton Parks and Rec, Greg Salyer talking Major League Baseball, David Collins from Collins & Company, one of our sponsors, Rick Walters from Rick Walters Insurance, Horseman Insurance. He, too, is one of our sponsors, of course. And then also we have and had Morgan Roselle, just now the swimmer, who went down and competed against a bunch of college kids and did pretty dadgum good. So appreciate every one of those. Thank you for being with us on the show. We'll rejoin you again tomorrow from 11 to 1. If you don't have a church home, we'd love for you to join us tonight at Pleasant Beach Baptist Church on Watauga Road. We'll have service at 7 o'clock tonight. It's a good time to start coming because we're getting ready to crank up the kids after being off for the summer, the Master Club program. Getting ready to gear it up in the next week or two, so it'll be a good time for you to, if you have little people, to come and be with us at the church. And the Master Club is back in the Bobby Stout Fellowship Hall. And, of course, the adults meet in the sanctuary, which is right up the hall. So they're close by and under constant supervision. And so, you know, can't beat that under a constant adult supervision, and it's a good thing. So anyway, if you don't have a church home, join us again tonight at Pleasant Beach Baptist Church. That'll wrap up show number 1906 on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We'll wrap it up by telling you, as always, bloom where you're planted, and win or lose, be a good sport. And we'll wrap it up as we always try to do with the verse of the day. And it is out of the book of Psalms today. And it would be this one right here. And it would be Psalm 68:19. Praise be to the Lord, to God our Savior, who daily bears our burdens. Good way to end it. See you back here tomorrow, 11 o'clock, here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for watching.